So we actually don't have many sections left. I did update the calendar on the back if you guys want to know for the rest of the trimester. It's pretty much what I've been telling you though. So we're going to end up finishing the chapter. So through 5-9, no?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. And then we have a handful of days to review. So we actually are kind of lucky that we'll end up with at least 3 days of review before we take the actual test. And I'll do my best to get you one of the reviews this week because I know some people said they wanted it ahead of time. So I can try to get you one this week, even though we haven't learned all the sections yet. But you can certainly get started. And then the test will be over 2 days. Monday will be the first part of the test. That'll probably be like the main part. And then Tuesday would be the application part with the calculator. So, I mean, like, I don't want to say word problems, but that's basically what it is. And it's not that the first part can't have word problems, but the second part is meant to have like a bigger one that you can use Desmos or a calculator on to find answers. So this one is graphing quadratic inequalities. Or I shouldn't even say graphing. It's just quadratic inequalities is the section. Today's part is graphing them. Tomorrow's portion is solving them. So it's different things each day. Okay, this is pretty much the steps you're going to take. And I know this is abbreviated a lot, right? The graphing the equation part, it's just step 2, graph the equation. But it's not like that's a really minor part. Like that definitely involves work. But it's the same as when we were doing linear ones. A dotted line is if it's greater than or less than. It's a solid line if it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. And then you're going to do shading. And it still works the same where you shade above or shade below. But definitely there's some people when you graph a quadratic, it feels weird to figure out what's considered above and what's considered below. So I'll go over that part with you guys. So I put one filled in example up here. We're going to graph up to 3 of them together. And then kind of depending on how well you're doing, maybe we only need to do 2, but otherwise I've got 3 of them ready to go. Oh, we need a roller. Is that Aaron? Yes. Okay. A little worried we had pipe issues. 28. No, but that's not this class. Who's 28? Lily, did you want to roll?
Yes, I would love to roll.
Okay. We have prizes today.
For rollers?
Prizes?
Well, for anybody. Leftover candy
Free and
that is not affiliated with peanuts, so it is peanut free.
Yay.
And you don't have to have it, but I've got a bunch, so.
Do you roll it towards you or away from
You have it backwards. I set it down that way probably, but so roll correct that direction.
14?
Oh, well, we don't have a question yet.
Well, get right.
That will be the person. Okay, does anybody still need these notes up here? Sounds good. Who's 14 anyway? Maya, do you like Starburst? Because I've got about 1,000. You haven't answered yet, but we'll give you credit for this one. Can I change the slide? It looks like you're shading on it. Okay. All right, we are going to do this one together.
Alright.
So 2x squared minus 5x minus 2 less than or equal to y. Anything you want to do to help us start?
Well, could you see whether it's like a solid or dotted line?
Sure.
It would be a solid because it's equal to.
Nice. Okay. It is less than or equal to, so we have a solid line. Okay, we'll start with that. Sure. Solid line. Do you want to keep going? I feel like you really took advantage of that starburst.
Sure, I'll keep.
Okay. Anything else that would help us graph? So this is basically from our last chapter test. So for those who are practicing for a retake, this is great practice.
Would it be something with the x squared?
That is a great question. How do we graph a parabola when we're just given like an equation? So this was the last page of the test. The first thing we try to figure out is the axis of symmetry.
So should we find that?
Yes, yes, we should find that first.
That was the x is negative b over.
Good memory. I was going to give that to you. I just didn't know if you needed it. Okay, so x equals negative b over 2a. This tells us the middle of the parabola. So we have the opposite of negative 5, okay, over 2 times 2. So we have 5 over 4, which is a horrible middle, but that's all right. 1 1/4 is the middle of our parabola. Okay.
It's 2 1/4. We know 1 1/4.
Oh, you had me worried. Yeah, if you forget to multiply by 2, yeah. So 1 1/4. All right. Not a great line, but I'll go with it. So a little bit past 1. Lily, who is going to help us next?
Wait, wrong way. But it's 19.
You know the number even though you rolled the wrong way?
I collected it.
Cadence.
Probably 5 or something.
I was just letting you choose. So find the y-intercept?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do that?
I did 0.
Okay, I plug in 0 and then I would get negative 2. Now you kind of skipped a step, but that's okay because we do have to find the y-intercept at some point anyway. So our y-intercept is 2. Now I'm going to move this down because this is actually something we wanted to do afterwards. So we'll kind of move that out of the way. So I will put the y-intercept up here though. So there, it crosses the y-axis at 2. Maybe instead of me chucking starbursts around the room, I should just have you guys come grab them afterwards if you want them.
Wouldn't it be negative 2?
Oh God, yeah. Let's
right.
excellent catch, and let's pretend that I wrote negative 2 from the start. I realize that this is recorded, and I have proof that I didn't, but we're going to pretend. Yes. I know. When I get talking, sometimes I overlook things when I'm writing. Do you want to keep going, Cadence, or do you want somebody else to go?
Somebody else.
Okay. You guys are doing excellent so far, though.
21.
Alexandra. Thoughts? Do you want some guidance?
Guidance.
Okay, guidance. I can give guidance. So we found the axis of symmetry first. And if you remember for the vertex has to have 2 numbers. The first number of the vertex is your axis of symmetry. How do I find the second number? How do I find the height at a certain number? Like if I were making a table and this was the x value, how did I find the y value in a table again? Plug it in the equation we're given. So I'm going to take the number I have and plug it into the equation I'm given to find the y value. Oh, this is not going to work out great. You know what? When you make up problems, sometimes it just doesn't work out very good.
That's why you shouldn't make up problems.
I see. Well, that's why people pay textbooks to make up problems for them. But, you know, I wasn't that smart. I've got a mustache. I'm not that smart. Let's see. 25/16 times 2 is going to be 25/8 minus 25/4 minus 2. So this is 50/8. So 25/8 minus 50/8 would be negative 25/8. God. Negative 25/8 minus 2, which is minus 16/8. 25 and 16 is 35. 41. My gosh. That's a terrible number. Negative 41/8. You guys have a calculator, I don't. So that probably would have been a golden opportunity for a calculator. So that is negative 5 1/8. So now that I figured that, vertex. How about this, Alexandra? Can you tell me where to graph the vertex? How do I graph 5/4 and negative 41/8? Or not? Not sure? Okay. So 5/4 would mean I would go 5/4 to the right, which is my dotted line. And then negative 41/8 means I'm going to go down 5 1/8 squares. So if you did it on your calculator, you would have gotten negative 5.125. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you're a lot more comfortable with decimals, and that'd be fine. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to guess where that is, but it's right there. Okay, getting there. Lily, one more person.
34.
We don't have that.
27.
Zach.
Mm.
Oh, wait. Do you like Starburst?
Yes.
Do you know anybody that would like Starburst? Can you give it to them?
Sure.
Okay, we could do that. You can make their day. Okay, Zach, what am I going to ask next?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. That's why I get paid a lot. How do I know how to graph the parabola? Because right now, I know how to graph half of it. And I know it's a solid line, so I could graph half of it. Oh, wow, that was bad. But I could just make my point bigger. There we go. How do I graph the other half? Do you remember about the mirror image things?
Well, yeah, it's just. Wouldn't you go from the
Y-intercept.
y-intercept
Okay.
and just go like
How would I graph its mirror image?
4 to the right?
True, but not 4. Okay, so
3 or 3 to the right.
well, it's 1 1/4, but so right now my y-intercept is 1 1/4 squares away from the mirror image line, the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to go 1 1/4 squares to the right,
That's what
which
I'm saying.
will be at 2 1/2, which was exactly what Zach said to do.
Then look at that.
And then that's how I can graph the other half of my parabola.
Oh, you're so bad at graphing lines.
I am very bad at graphing lines on this tablet. It's really hard to draw on this thing, even though it's made for graphic design. I should say other people who do that for a living are much better than me at it. If it's a whiteboard, I'm good to go. Okay, now I have one thing left to do, and I have to shade my graph. Instead of me rolling, is there anybody that thinks they know how we can figure out how to shade? I don't, because I don't know if this would be a mean question to just ask somebody. Bryce, thoughts?
I think since it's y is greater than,
Good.
then we shade everything, hold on, y is greater than, so we shade everything below it,
Backwards.
above.
Perfect.
Okay.
So this says y is greater than because you read from the y. So the way you said that was perfect. You read from the y, so this says y is greater than because the big end is on the y. And greater than would mean shade above. If y is less than, you shade below. Now the shading is what's kind of weird. What color should we go with?
Pink. Let's do it.
Got to find pink. Good enough. Salmon? Ugh, no. Carnation? Sure.
Isn't that a flower?
Strawberry. It is a flower. Strawberry. How do I shade above?
You shade above.
Like inside of the level.
Okay, shading above is not always inside, but on this one it is. So the easiest way I can recommend shading is put your pen or pencil on the graph and then draw straight up. That's definitely not pink. That is the worst pink I have ever seen. Oh well. So if you need help figuring out how to draw above or draw below, put your pen or pencil directly on the picture and then go up for above or go down for below. And when I drew up, then I realized it was inside the parabola, so that is my shading.
So you just put your pencil wherever?
On the graph. So I put my pencil on the parabola somewhere. It actually doesn't matter where you put it on the parabola. And then you draw straight up or straight down, depending if you're trying to shade above or below.
So if it was below, then we shade everything outside of the brush?
Yes. I usually put my pencil on the vertex, though, going back to that,
And
just
if it
because it's
was-
easier.
If it was upside down, if it was an upside down.
Right,
then if it
that's-
was up, it would be everything.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to phrase it as inside or outside of it, because if it's upside down, it's opposite. Okay? Good, good, good. Do you think you could try one on your own? No. Oh, should we do this one together? We can do this together. All right. Bryce, do you like Starburst?
No, I'm not a fan of Starburst.
Can I get my starters?
Yes, I'm just worried about throwing it.
I'll just don't worry about it.
Come on, just throw it. It'll be
I'll
fine.
take his.
Oh, that was actually spot on.
Yeah, you had
Yes.
your form then.
Do you always have to put it in like a certain order, or can you just do it based off of what it looks like?
Do you mean like the graphing part?
Yeah, so like this one's Y comes first.
This one's in vertex form, so you would graph it depending on what you're given.
Okay,
So this one should be a lot easier to graph.
okay.
This one is-
Are we gonna roll? Let's roll somebody. I forgot, we got till 9:30. We got time.
9?
That's me, sorry.
It's 9:30.
Like 9:30.
9:20.
That's normal. 9:28,
Oh, yeah.
9:30-ish. 10? 10 is Haley. Can you tell me anything to start, Haley? I should get off the crayon one though, so let's.
You find the vertex and then do vertex one?
Good, very good. Okay, we can find the vertex immediately. Oh, I thought you were telling me what it was. You were just telling me that you can find it right away? All right, fair enough. I'm definitely not going to throw a Starburst that far because I will absolutely take out the projector or something. Aaron, are you asking a question or answering or what?
Answering for the vertex because she can do it.
Okay, help her out.
Dang.
You would go to the left 2 and down 3.
Okay, perfect. So inside the parentheses, this means to the left 2. Outside, this means down 3. So my vertex is -2, -3. Okay, so left 2, down 3, that is my vertex. Excellent. And I'm pretty sure Haley knows how to do it, she just didn't want to.
I'm really tired.
I know. That's every day. Like, I can already just say you're tired. Okay, let's roll somebody.
36. We don't have.
Yeah, we don't have that.
2.
We do have that. Alex, how do I find the y-intercept when it's in vertex form? Because that's the other thing we need. Do you remember what we did on the first problem? Okay.
You said y,
The y-intercept.
would you multiply by 0?
I think you mean it correct. You plug in 0.
Yeah.
Yep, but that's correct. That's exactly what you do. You plug in 0. So negative 0 plus 2 squared minus 3. So I don't know what that is. Negative
7.
2 squared, -7. Good. Okay. So, oh, that's a bad 7, but whatever. Go. Scroll down. Go down 7, 3, 6, 7. Okay, good. This is my vertex. This is my y-intercept. Next person. And don't forget, you guys are welcome to come grab a Starburst if you answer the question.
16.
Hadley, how do I find the mirror image point? Which one of those two points that I have drawn is on the mirror image line?
Vertex?
It is. The vertex is like our mirror image location. So if we know we have a point here, where else would there be one?
Like on the opposite side.
Okay, how far over?
2.
Perfect. So I wasn't even looking for you to give me like the point. Just the fact that you know it's 2 squares away, make another one 2 squares away. And it's upside down, and we would have known that anyway from the negative sign, but our 3 points, oh, wait, we need another person. And you're close enough for me to throw.
13. Thank you.
Yep, 13 is Kelsey. Is this solid line or dotted line?
This is a dollar.
Dotted line because it's y is greater than. Which feels weird to draw dotted lines on a.
Makes it much easier
You know,
to draw.
that absolutely looks like a V. I need to work on that.
It's
Oh.
V for vertex.
That is true. Oh God, that's still the exact same thing. We're just going to keep it. Let's pretend that's rounded because it's supposed to be easy to draw, but I'm a bad drawer. Okay, one last person, and this was done.
18.
Liam, how do I shade? Let's see if the pink works. Oh, I know what I did last time. I didn't hit OK. Last time I didn't hit OK. There we go. How come? Perfect. Y is greater than would be shading above. Okay, that doesn't write very well, but we'll go with it. Above. So I'm going to put my pen directly on the vertex, and I'm going to shade above. And then that's where I will shade is outside the parabola.
I like the strawberry color.
Yeah, strawberry one's good.
Yeah, I like strawberries.
I don't know, it looks like I could eat it.
I think it looks like Pepto-Bismol.
I feel the smell is a lot more like. It's just that's a different color.
It is, but it also looks different on my computer than your.
Or it looks yummy.
Whoa.
I agree, strawberries are better though. Yeah. I mean, if we're comparing tastes. Okay. I think we'll stop at 2 examples because I think you guys have reached your fill. But I'll summarize. If you have standard form, you're going to have to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex with some work. The y-intercept is pretty easy because it's just the number by itself, but you can plug in 0 to get it. And then you do a mirror image point and shade. If it's in vertex form, then your vertex is basically written in the problem, and so you can immediately graph that. But you still have to find the y-intercept so that you have a way to find more points. And in this case, you plug 0 in to get an answer. And then again, you still graph the mirror image. So the steps basically are the same. And then you shade. And then this is, wait, what was this one? Yeah, that's not, we're not worried about that. That was the same, just in a different spot. So you'll notice that there's not many problems here because you have to draw them. I mean, like, it's not that they take forever, but they don't go fast. Yes, question?